Hello, my friends. This is part two of a little mini series on how to create lasting change with individuals, teams, and organizations. My name is Russ Simon with Leadership Solutions, and the framework that we're looking at today is introduced in the book Influencer by the Crucial Learning team, probably who you're familiar with Crucial Conversations. But this is where you can go to find out more about that. And yesterday, or in our last video, I'll say yesterday, but I'm still wearing the same stuff because I'm doing these videos back to back. They'll be released day by day. But in the previous video, part one, what we talked about was that anytime that we're going to start change, it needs to start at the individual level. And so when we're helping the individual, it's important that we understand the difference between the willpower and the skill power, because even if they've got the will after you have motivated them through your influence and inspired them to go and do whatever it is, do they then have the skill set and the tool set necessary that both empowers them, you've probably empowered them, but enables them to be able to do what they've been asked to do? Because I think often you and I perhaps have been placed in a situation like this by either a well-intentioned leader or someone learning their leadership still, where they've inspired us and asked us to do something and then given us the charge to do it, but we haven't had the training to go with it, the skills, the tools that we need to be able to do it. And so that's where I introduce myself as a helper for you, that you can enlist me as someone who can come in, relieve you of that responsibility, and help you by bringing the expertise of a certified Maxwell certified coach, trainer, and speaker to help your team. I'll give you an example of how I'm doing this right now as we introduce this next part. So the book that I'll refer to is called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And again, I'll refer to Maxwell since that's John Maxwell is my certification. And one of the clients that I'm working with right now, in fact, I'll be working with them tomorrow on this. And as we move from the personal side of things, like how do we help the person, we also need to make sure that there's this social or organizational component that's in place to be able to help them out. And on this one, what we're looking at is like the peer influence and the peer help. What can we do to build that team in such a way that we've got the positive peer pressure, the influence coming there, just on the motivational side, like, hey, we're a team. We are awesome. If you're familiar with tribal leadership, we're awesome. And the peer help that comes with it, the real collaboration. So sometimes what will happen is even if we've got great communication going on here, we may not have great collaboration going on here, or we may not even have a connection. And sometimes we just don't even have great communication. So that's where I like this training a lot as a starting point for many individuals that I work with is let's nail down our communication so we can really collect, collaborate, and create together. So that there's not some weird competition, even within the company, silos or whose team is better, but we move into that creative plane and sphere where everybody is benefited and it's a win-win. So I want you to think about your current team, the organization that you're in right now, and consider, is there the social environmental structure set up right now where it's not just great messaging that we all know what the vision statement is, what our values are, we, cheer each other on, but are we really doing that in a way that connects and moves us forward to collaborate and really create something so much bigger because now it's a synergistic effect rather than even just the addition effect, right? We want to move into that multipliers idea that Liz Wiseman talks about. And it's simple, but it's not easy, I guess is what I want to say. And one of the things that may not make it easy sometimes is just the lack of time. If you're the leader and you've got responsibilities on your plate, you know this is one of your responsibilities, but you may be lacking in the time that you need to actually be able to do it. And that is where individuals like myself this is why we exist, so that you can call on our services, invite us in to be a part of your team, your organization, to come and build some of the, again, skill sets and bring in some of the tools that are needed to be able to do this. I just had a wonderful opportunity working with a team with the leadership game over here. that you see right behind me. And that was one of those tools that I was able to bring in at the social level. And I probably should have done this. My apologies. Bring this in so you can see it a little bit better. Um, they have been working on their peer influence, and now they want to work together better and help each other out more. And the leadership game is one of those tools that I can bring in to help you, so that we all sit down at the table. You didn't have to plan, you didn't have to prep, you don't even have to facilitate. In fact, you're a part of it. You're sitting back experiencing it. You're soaking it all in. So you're not even from the facilitator standpoint having to do anything and try to play both sides of that game as well. You get to immerse yourself in that experience. So I'll just use that as one example of something where someone like myself can come in, bring a tool, and help your team just work better. Another that I'd like to show you here, I just saw it pop up behind me, is DISC. I spoke to this in video number 1 about this. But along with this, allowing us to understand the person better and what motivates them and how to speak in a way that really resonates and speak their language. One of the things that this does, and another workshop that I do with teams, is to run individual reports so we understand, okay, where's everybody coming from? I can run a team report for you that brings it all together. The real pinnacle of this, well, I won't even say pinnacle, I'll say actually a launch pad that gets us into other things like learning from material like this, is to have a disc workshop. It is like so fundamental and foundational because once each individual learns about themselves, right, we know that you got to know yourself to grow yourself. So we start there. And then the principle works on a team as well, to know the team, to grow the team. And through a disc workshop, I can come in. We can take 3 hours all together. Again, you just get to show up on this one, make sure your team's there. And I come in and I get to work with you. I get to work with your team and I get to help bring the best out. And we celebrate each other and we understand each other. And here's what I love happening in those disc workshops. It goes from this, a lot of times in the individual disc, we'll be talking about teams and stuff, and man, we just get heads shaking like, I just don't understand Russ. Like, why is Russ that way? But then we get into a disc workshop, and all of a sudden our head starts going, instead of this way, it starts going this way. And now we're looking and we're saying, oh, because Russ, he's a CS. So like the checklist things, the perfectionist, the we're going to get it done, we're going to get it done right, and we're going to get it done well. That's really important to him. And then he's got that team aspect where he really likes to work with the team and help them out. And that's what's happening. Or we've got someone who's a high IS and they're like very influencing and intuitive and they want to move quick, but they may not have all the checklist stuff down. And that's where someone like me, a Russ, a C, looks at an I and we're like, what were they thinking? Like, why did they move so fast? Didn't they think through this? And that person looks at me and says, why are they so slow? Why are they trying to figure everything out before they get moving? And we just start to understand each other and we're like, oh, and then we see how we complement each other and help each other out. So as you look towards building your team and making change, not just for the sake of change, but good change and change the right way and being the change and lasting change, what you got to consider is both the individual and you've got to consider the team or that social aspect there of, okay, how are we influencing each other and are we really helping each other out? Or are we just kind of siloed here? How do we do that? Again, if you feel that you could use some help with that, my name's Russ Simon, and it would be an honor to serve you and your team and to bring the mindset, the skill set and the tool set all ready to go to help you out. And I am ready to go as soon as you are. So find my contact information in the description of this video or social media, wherever you happen to find it, or look for me online with Russ Simon Leadership Solutions and let's connect. Let's get started. Let's take that off your hands, but still make sure that it's a responsibility that you're taking care of for your team. All right, my friends, until video 3, go help your people and take a look at your teams and see how things are going there. All right, catch you next time.